Today is January the 6th. It is 7:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please stand up for the opening prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Lord, we're meeting here tonight to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being the source of our guidance tonight. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Lorraine.
Present.
Reed.
Here.
Mathis.
Here.
Kruger's present. Kessler is absent. Gopal.
Here.
Tucker.
Present.
You have 6 members present.
All right. To the members of the audience, this program is televised. We have 3 cameras right up here. You're welcome. When I say public comment, you can come up and speak in the podium and give your name. You don't have to give your address. And we usually keep it down to about 3 minutes. 3 minutes is a long time when you get up there. Really it is. So anyway, it is on channel Charter Communication 191. It'll go on for 2 weeks. So you can put this on, it's a public station, and watch yourself speak or listen to yourself speak, whatever you want to do. All right, approval of tonight's agenda. Are there any requests to amend tonight's agenda? All right, I have 2. Detective Sergeant Harrington has just brought me the different crimes that are in our township, and I'm going to let him come up. I'll put you in right after the fire chief. All right, I'm going to put him on so he can talk about some of the crimes that are in our township. The other thing I'd like to do, people, is I would like to schedule a special meeting for us again in regards to exempt employees. So, would you want to do it on a Monday night again? Or do you want to do it earlier on a Monday night before our meeting? It should not take long. Mark, is yours?
No, I'm best. I mean, Monday before a meeting is great for me.
Me too.
Yeah, that's perfect. So
You-
before the 20th is what you're talking about?
It doesn't matter, whatever.
Before a
is-
meeting though,
Yeah,
as
I
compared
need
to next
everybody
Monday?
here, yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter to me.
yeah, on the 20th, hang
The
on, let's see
20th
what
would
I'm
be
doing.
fine.
Yeah, 20th I can come early,
January 20th?
yep.
What time?
6, you want to do 6:30?
6:30?
Okay. All right, the very next thing is, I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Sport.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Reed.
Yes.
Gopal.
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
Kessler's absent. Lorraine.
Yes.
I say yes. Mathis.
Yes.
It is approved.
Included in the packet are the minutes for December the 16th regular meeting. Are there any corrections or revisions for the meeting minutes? If none, the meeting minutes stand approved as presented. Expenditures. Are there any questions regarding any of the expenditures that are in front of you?
I did have a question. There was it just showed up as miscellaneous expenses. It looks like we're paying somebody's credit card bill for $1,300 or something along those lines.
For what?
Well, that was last week. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I know Tom can just figure that out from what little information I gave him.
Yeah.
Card member service, okay, it's the township credit card. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring the invoices down. I don't know off the top of my head what they are. I can certainly, if you want, I can go up and grab it, or I can let you know. But it's a township credit card, which we use just for convenience purposes. So it was probably an accumulation of some miscellaneous items.
Who carries it?
Bonnie has one, I have one.
Oh, we
Mine?
definitely need to audit that.
No, we've locked them up, and like today now, I gave mine to assessing, there's a workshop that they need to go, I think it's Frankenmuth.
Yeah.
And so they have to call in and get it registered. And then they,
Just give me the detail later, that'll be fine. It's a
Yep.
small enough number, but it just looks a little weird.
yeah, I had that down too. Tom, I do have a question. What is state of Michigan for all these different lakes permit fees? Why do they vary? And why, who's paying, we're paying them, but
Well,
why?
they're being paid out of the special assessment funds for
Oh,
those,
they are?
for those lakes, yes. And the permits vary based on the size of the lake.
Okay.
So that's coming, the requests are coming from the contractors doing the work. But we make the checks out, the state of Michigan provide it to the contractor, and then they send the checks in with all the proper paperwork.
Okay. The next thing is Michigan Over Door. Is this for the fire station? And did our insurance pay for it?
It will.
It will, okay.
Less a deductible, I assume.
Right.
You know what that is? 500?
It's either 500 or 1,000, I can't remember.
All right, I'm all set. Is there anyone else in regards to any of the bills that are in front of you? Okay. I need a motion to approve the expenditures totaling $301,501.76.
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
I vote yes, Mathis.
Yes.
Kessler is absent. Reed,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, now we're going to reports, and this is Fire Department in the fourth quarter. This is Chief Ryan Bowles, and he's going to explain what is going on. For the members that are in the audience right now, Fenton Township also services Tyrone Township.
Yes.
So he will give you Fenton Township's schedule and Tyrone's schedule.
Yeah, so this will be the fourth quarter report for 2019. We had a grand total of 109 alarms for the month, or for the quarter. We had 13 fires, 49 EMS calls, 5 hazardous conditions, 15 service calls, 18 good intent calls, and 9 false alarms. Of those, 17 of them were in Tyrone Township. We had 7 EMS calls, 1 hazardous condition, 2 service calls, 6 good intent calls, and 1 false alarm. And that was for the fourth quarter for 2019. The grand totals for 2019 were 641 alarms. We had 45 fires, we had 370 EMS calls, we had 27 hazardous conditions, 43 service calls, 112 good intent calls, 42 false alarms, and 2 weather calls. Tyrone Township had 64 of those calls. We had 2 fires, 32 EMS calls, 3 hazardous conditions, 3 service calls, 20 good intent calls, 30 false alarms, and 1 severe weather.
Chief, have you looked to see if we're effectively cost recovering from Tyrone Township? Have you looked at it,
Yeah.
get a chance to review it? You think-
Actually, I think our price went up this year.
You think,
So,
think we're still good though?
Yeah.
Relative to the expenses? Okay.
yep, it's actually more than that. It's perfect.
Perfect's good.
Yeah, while I'm thinking about it, Tyrone Township, I know Genesee County changed their EMS procedures as far as dispatch and fire. How does that work with Tyrone Township?
Stayed the same. We still run all tier 1 medicals.
No matter how far?
Depending on how close the ambulance is, it's always been that way in Tyrone.
Has
So,
it?
yeah.
Is it 8 or 5?
They're just, if they have one for Fenton Township, if they have one at the Parsonsville Road station, very seldom do they even call us.
Okay,
So that's within, 5-6 miles?
right, thank you.
Yep.
I was just curious.
Any other questions from the board members in regards to the chief? No? All right. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Now, Detective Sergeant Kurt Harrington, would you like to come and explain this to us?
All right.
Good evening. So in front of you, I have assembled a list of all the police calls that the Genesee County Sheriff's Office has responded to here in Fenton Township alone. I'm not going to go through the whole report because we'd be here for a long time, but Just some of the high number calls that we have responded to since August 1st. A PDA is a property damage accident. So a simple car accident, maybe hitting another car or fence post or something of that nature. 133 of those. 17 people have been arrested for drunk driving. We've taken 10 assault calls, 15 larceny calls, which is your basic theft call. 14 fraud reports, 13 misdemeanor citation reports, and 10 suspicious calls, just things of that nature. And what I want to do is every quarter I want to update you as the board what's going on here in your township as far as crime is being called to us and us responding.
When you say threats, are these threats mostly through the school?
No, not necessarily. It could just be a boyfriend, girlfriend breaking up and he calls her and threatens her, or vice versa, or two guys arguing at a bar and they know each other through Facebook and might make a threat that way.
We take reports on that?
Yes, we do.
When'd that start?
Always have, as far as I've known.
And another thing, I'm not seeing PIs on here. Is that labeled under a different?
No, I just put those all together. I think there was only 4 or 5 PI
So you got them under
accidents.
PDAs?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
So PI accident's a personal injury accident. Yep,
Just 4, huh? That's good.
yep, approximately 4.
So we need to banish cars from the township that cut down on.
Well, and I'll tell you,
Kind of thing.
133 is a high number when I look at that in
Yeah.
5 months. So what I'm doing is looking at every road or street that we're taking crashes on and trying to figure out why.
Thank you.
Fenton Township has a lot of, well, let's just put it this way, there's not a lot of straight roads in Fenton Township.
Yeah, there is.
So that's one of them. And there's icy highways, there's car deer accidents, things of that nature, but what else is causing so many people to get into accidents here in Fenton Township, so. And if we can figure that out, we'll have more road patrol in those areas.
Well, if there's something we can do from a road standpoint, or we can go to the road commission, so we appreciate you looking at that.
Mhm.
So if you find anything useful, we can pass along to the road commission to try and
Absolutely.
ameliorate some of that.
Yep, that'd be great.
'Cause that's a big number. I was half joking. I was thinking Mackinac Island, we could fudge.
Does that include, well, it would include US 23 though, correct?
Absolutely.
So that's probably,
Most-
do you have anything to report back as far as the research that you have done?
I'm assembling that right now. I have all the stats from 2018, and I just have to go through and just put it all together. But I'll have that for you all.
Another question. These are reports. Does
Yes.
that mean that in all of these instances that there has been a ticket or something issued? Or is this just somebody that you pulled over for
Complaint.
disorderly complaint?
Right.
And you wrote something up and there was no ticket issued or no
Right.
court appearance?
So 911 has contacted us and said, go to this house, for example, maybe it's a fraud report, and the deputy has gone out there and taken an actual written report. Doesn't necessarily mean somebody's been arrested or put in jail for that.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I think just when you said about the roads, now, this doesn't pertain to you, but, on Torrey Road by the lake, by Leering Road and the curve, lake is right up to the road, and then you have that one curve that goes up and sharp, a lot of accidents there. But I did not know that, but this year, Genesee County MDOT, the Road Commission has put a certain surface on the road right at that where it banks. So the cars are not coming around there and skidding and going into the other cars. But we've had no snow. so
Right. This has been a
I
pretty
don't know
mild
if
year.
it works or not.
Mild year.
Yeah. So, but we can, I think that's gonna make a huge difference in that.
Yep, I agree.
All right, is there any other questions?
One other comment. When you do this, when you're, maybe do radiuses, a mile or so up schools, because I know a lot of the incidents of accidents are gonna be higher around schools, because that's where the 16-year-old drivers are. So could
Okay.
you just kind of put that in? I'd be curious to see what that is.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, I'll do that.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Sergeant. All right, are there any other committee reports to be made to the board? Communications, none. This is adoption of ordinances. This is a rezoning. Is Courtney? No, she's not here. All right. rezoning of R19-003 Courtney Steffens, parcel 0622400047. The address is 14337 Eastview Drive. It is zoning C2 to R5. This is second reading, and we'll be voting on adopting it or not adopting it. Now, for the people in the audience, Eastview Drive, this is down where Frank's Tavern was. We tore Frank's Tavern down, and it's down the hill, and there's a lot of land in through there. And this was giving the road commission an easement through not Eastview Trailer Park, but the other trailer park, to get to the water for the drainage of the road, because we're trying to correct that road. So that's the area. And so what we are going to do here is this board has already talked to her. We talked to her at the last meeting, and what I'm gonna need is any board discussion in regards to it. And if not, I need a motion to adopt an amendment to zoning ordinance number 594 to rezone parcel 0622400047 from C2 to R5 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Reed,
Yes.
Gopal.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Kessler's absent, Lorraine.
Yes.
I vote yes, Mathis.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, I believe a lot of you are here for this one right now. This is a proposed amendment to sewer system ordinance, gold shovel standards. This is the second reading, and normally we would vote on it. But I think you probably want more information on it. We had it on the last meeting. What I can do is table it and get somebody to come and talk to you in regards to this gold shovel. No? You don't want it, but I think though I need to explain why and I could schedule it at a next meeting and let a speaker come and talk to you. And then, well, we'll make a decision, but we wanna hear your opinions in regards to
Do you
it.
guys have anything else you can teach us about now that you've been educated on that maybe we don't know about, that you could help us understand it better?
If I had my zoning administrator here, and I've had him here every week, but he's not here tonight, he'd be able to talk to you in regards to it, or our engineer, absolutely.
Can we each voice our concerns with it? Because we can't afford to take the time out of our schedule. I don't think you're gonna get this turnout again if you put somebody up here. You're certainly not gonna get this turnout if you put somebody from the gold standard shovel up there.
No, I wouldn't. I would have zoning administrator, and I'd have our engineer come and
So is
explain.
it possible we give you our feelings on it now? and you
I'd
just
welcome
back
that. We
and
can do
take it
that.
to your vote next time, just because we can't harass all these guys to take their time out of work to be here again. They were nice enough to come here one time, and we're just gonna let you guys know what we think about it, you know? Have any of you guys done a lot of research on this?
Us, the board members, no, but zoning and engineering did, yes.
Okay.
So why don't I open it up to the public, and we'll take your notes down, and then if you would like me to bring somebody here for the next meeting, I can do that also for some of you that would like to know the details in regards to it. But when something like this comes, we put it back to the professionals more so than our board. That's why I say these two men are not here. Would you want me to, we'll take your opinions, and I'll take your names, and then, do you wanna come back and hear what it's all about, or no?
I mean, we can't guarantee that everyone's gonna show back up. I'll personally come, maybe a couple guys will come, but the people that are here today took the time out of their schedule to be here, and I think it's important to hear we are.
Absolutely.
You're looking at all the excavators in your township. You're looking at the biggest guys here. You're looking at everybody that's digging your basements. You're looking at everybody doing your search. We're all here. We're here
Okay.
for a reason.
Then what
They
we're,
aren't gonna come here again, you know what I mean?
that's all right, we will write down, and it's being televised and taped, and so we'll have all your opinions, your names.
And it's just to give you our opinion of it, you know,
Absolutely.
if they leave out of here and you never hear our opinion, well, boy, did they waste their time, you know what I mean? And if you never hear our stance on this, your expert, he wants it, or maybe he's not informed either, or you guys don't know a lot about it, so you're gonna vote in favor of it, but you never got the opportunity to hear our side if nobody's
vote in favor of it, we would take your opinions,
Gotcha.
absolutely. But I
Okay.
didn't think, I mean, I wasn't prepared to get the right people here for you, and I think you need that, if you have questions. So let's go ahead, open it up for public comment, please come up and give your opinion, so we know why, and give us some information in regards to your type of business. All right, would you like to?
Yeah.
Let me get my paper ready.
My name's Brian Dennis. I've been doing a lot of research on this since you guys talked about it last time. I'm gonna say 80 to 100 hours of nonstop research on this, okay? I'm gonna talk to you guys like I know about it just because I know you haven't done a lot on it, okay? This is a for-profit company based out of California, all right?
I do know that, yeah.
It's the company, it's Gold Standard Shovel, okay? And they're also the same, it's the same guy that owns it. This is an entrepreneur out of California, okay? He owns Orapella Software. You pay, do you guys know what it costs us a year? Did they tell you that?
They
1,500?
told- I was gonna
The
say.
research I did.
1,500 on the low side, 2,400 for everybody in this room, every year. Every year we have to pay that. What are you gonna do in 2008 when there's 4 sewer taps and we're all in it? You're looking at $100 grand just in this room in membership fees. We have to pay this guy out of Santa Barbara, California. I'm gonna bet and say he's a Democrat. I'm gonna bet and say everybody in here is a Republican. And our money is it.
I don't mean to laugh.
He's,
but it
he's,
was funny.
that's what we're doing though. You can say it's a non-profit, but we're writing the check to Orapella Software, okay? So real fast, because I only have 3 minutes, I'm just gonna hammer through my big issues with this, but you can already tell I'm fired up about this. I don't mean to come across with an attitude, okay? I don't mean to talk hostily to you guys. That's my biggest issue. This is an entrepreneur out of California. Can you imagine every excavator in America paying you $2,400 a year? You're talking about an insane amount of money. Go on the company's website. It almost comes across like a shell company. You can't even get anybody on the phone. I called for 4 weeks. Nobody ever called me back. Today was the first day I got somebody on the phone. Their website hasn't been updated since 2017. I'm glad you looked into it. That makes me feel good I'm not the only one. It's almost like a fake shell company, okay? I talked to, there isn't a builder here. I don't know why they wouldn't show up, but I talked to every builder that I do work for. None of them would come. I'm not going to speculate on why. But you know what they all said to me? Is it even a problem? Because every builder I talked to one builder who has had one issue, and it wasn't even caused by excavating. It was caused by a trench sinking in. It pulled the gas line apart, and it cost the contractor $4,000 to fix it. That's the first question that all the builders said. Is it even an issue? Why are we doing this? That was their question, okay? Orapella and the Gold Shovel, here's one of their big arguments. You guys are all familiar with 811 Misdig, okay? We all treat that like the Holy Grail. I'll tell you right now, I have never put an excavator bucket in the ground without calling 811, which is Misdig. It will tell us what's in the ground. We don't dig dirt without calling Misdig, because we'll get in a lot of legal trouble if we hit something, okay? Now, if we hit something that Misdig didn't mark, and that, in my opinion, is the biggest concern, that they're just $12 an hour guys walking around with locators out there, okay? When they don't mark something and I hit something, it sounds real bad, but you know what I can do? Don't care. Not my problem, okay? That's one of the biggest things. When you sign up for the Golden Shovel, you sign it. You guys don't know this, but you sign a document. You are going to give up your legal right to do this. You're giving up your attorney-client privilege. You research this.
It's a website. That's all I look at.
If you guys Google this, if you just punch in Golden Shovel Standard America, you can read for pages and pages and pages. There's thousands of contractors that are against this. Mistig was originally against this when they rolled this out in 2016, okay? Mistig fought this because Orapella said they were going to replace Mistig because it was outdated and us contractors didn't use it. Well, I just told you I always use it, and we always use it. Mistig and Orapella have now teamed up and they're together because they couldn't beat them. Okay, so Mistig and Golden Shovel are working together. All right. So continuing back on my punch list here, it's 2 new: Sacramento, California, Rochester, New York, and Fenton Township. 3 in America. Does that sound a little off? 3 municipalities in America are using this. Bonnie, do you know how many people are using this in Michigan right now? How many?
No,
In 2017, they said it was gonna be widespread across Michigan, and there were gonna be hundreds, every municipality. You guys wanna guess, Vince, how many? How many in Michigan?
I don't know. I'm
One. Traverse City Light and Board. They haven't even signed the paperwork on it yet. I don't know why the city of Detroit didn't adopt it, but they didn't adopt it. One. And in 2020, they said they were going to have hundreds. They have one right now because of this, because we're fighting it. We don't want it. We haven't even got to why we don't want it, but the basic, it requires you 8 basic things, okay? Basic things. You have to have a valid misdig ticket. We already do to dig a basement. You know, if an inspector came out there and we didn't have a misdig ticket to dig a basement, we'd be in big trouble. You know, you have to stay 4 feet away from a marked utility. We already do. That's where we hand dig. You have to have safety procedures in place. You have an OSHA inspector that lives right in Fenton Township, is what 2 builders said to me. They're already scared of the guy. We have procedures in place. Yeah, we have an OSHA guy that lives in Fenton and one in Flushing. They brought that up. They said, and that was their argument. Is it needed? That guy's on our jobs. I said, knock on wood, he's never been on one of my jobs. I've never seen him, you know? It kind of makes you sit up straight, you know? The big thing for us in this room is the cost, okay? What's it cost you guys? $1,500, but not even your first year. It only costs you $700 your first year. And if you cry financial burden, it doesn't ever cost you. It doesn't. You guys don't have to pay. They'll do it for you guys for free. Did Orapella ever talk to any one of us? Did they call a single excavator in America? No. He's a Democrat lobbying government agencies to get you guys on board to force us to do this, okay? And if you get real sneaky and you act like you're a municipality and you go look into his information and act like I'm you, it spells it right out there how you can do that, how you can force us to have this, okay? And it's done by withholding our permits. You won't give us permits to do a sewer tap. Honestly, you put a holy Bible on the ground right now, I'm not going to do another sewer tap. I'm done. I only do 3 or 4 a year. I'm not paying it. But I'm going to get punished for my lawn maintenance employees, because the more employees you have, the more money you pay, okay? A couple of us in here are big lawn mowing guys. We do a couple basements on the side, you know? We work for the guys you know, Chris Weir, Steve Munkers, Pat Whiting. I talk to them all. We're all little guys in this room. We're all little guys, okay? We're doing everything to keep making money. Now we're going to get punished because I have guys out cutting grass too. Now I have to pay more money for that. I talked to him on the phone today for about an hour. I finally got somebody on the phone. Conversation went great for half of it, okay? As soon as I started asking about numbers, and as soon as he even remotely sensed that I wasn't on board with him, it got hostile. He demanded to know who I was. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? You know what I told him? I told him my name and who I was, and I said, I'm going to be the guy to stop you in Michigan. Put that underneath it, okay? Because it's garbage. This is Democratic regulation coming to Fenton Township. We just don't know enough. You guys don't know anything about it. As I predicted, I'm not saying it in a bad way, you know? If you guys could teach us about it and tell us about it, I've read it all. I've read for 100 hours online. I talked to him on the phone. Zito Construction, he won't even return my phone call. He won't even take my call. He was a member in 2016 advocating for it. He's not a member now. How come? How come you aren't paying your membership anymore? Some of the big guys that you read about, they're not members anymore. How many, do you know how many members there are in Michigan? Well, there's only about a dozen. They're big companies. Barton Mallow, Dan's Excavating, Creek Enterprise. I can talk on this for hours if you can't tell. They're huge guys, $1 and billion-dollar companies. This, long story short, this was designed by a company, PG&E, Pacific Gas and Energy. The company just burnt down California. They've gone bankrupt in the last 15 years twice. They owe California residents, what, $15 billion right now, okay? This program was designed to protect their infrastructure, their pipes underground. And I agree with it. If a private entity wants to say, listen, guys, we have billions of dollars into this infrastructure, Vince can't come and dig up my underground line and tap it unless you've been properly trained, you've signed my legal documents, One of the 8 requirements is you let your employees, something about the Whistleblower Act. If your employees want to stop production, they can stop production on that job site and not face retribution from Vince because he wants to fire them. If Pacific Gas and Energy, and even let's just move it right over to Michigan because Consumers Energy has signed on to this. It's one thing if you guys said, hey, this applies to Consumers Energy. If you're going to dig up their 6-inch gas line coming through Fenton, we want you to be certified. You have to sign their legal documents. It's kind of a test on who you are, you know. They want to know you can do the work. And I'm going to say I'm okay with that. You know, that's a private entity telling me that I can't work on their gas line. And that's what this was for. Make no mistake about it. This was for the gas line. This is not for sewer. I don't know why Genesee County thought this is for sewer. This was never for sewer lines and water lines. This was for a gas line. This was developed by Pacific Gas and Energy. One of their employees broke off. What's his name? Rick, I want to say it is. Started his own company, Orpella. And the guy's a millionaire now, and he's trying to become a billionaire. I'm not writing the guy a $2,400 check every single year. If it were $24 or $250, you know, and I got a sticker to put on my hard hat and on the side of my truck, and it helped me get some work, you know, you might get it out of me. I'm a member of other stuff, MNLA, all of us landscapers are. It costs us $300. You know, what's a builder's license take to keep up to snuff? I don't have one. $400 every 2 years was what I was told, though. $400 every 2 years. You're going to tell little me to pay $2,400 every year to put in a sewer tap I only charge $1,500 for? Go tell that to Steve Munkers, you know? That guy ain't gonna have it. I already told Steve today, I said, Steve, I'm done. I'm not doing your work anymore. I said, I might dig, so that's the other thing though, so I can dig the basement, because I don't need a permit for that, so now I can dig the basement, but I can't do the sewer tap? It's a little crazy on that. I think it's new. I think that's a line that got everybody. Sacramento, California, Rochester, New York, Fenton Township, Michigan. Doesn't line up. You know, and I know what your advocate is going to say. He's going to say, listen, guys, it's not us. It's Genesee County. They told us to do it. I agree, 100%. But you know what? Genesee County's hard to work with. I can't walk in there and talk like this to Genesee County. We can't. They'll just tell us to get out. They don't care about us. They're too big to listen to us little guys, okay? Now, don't let me hurt your feelings with this, but we voted you guys up there for a reason. And we are hoping that you are our voice to Genesee County and to say, hey, you guys, these are little contractors in little rural America. You're taking something out of California and sticking it on on Fenton, Michigan here, and it's not for us. You know what I mean? It's the financial burden for us. Now, Vince, you've done research. You probably know about the ICO score, right? Think credit score, okay?
Yes.
But it's an excavating score. The more utilities you guys hit, the lower your score is going to go, so that people know not to hire me, okay? Now the biggest argument, the little guy like me cries about $2,400 like the world's ending. Well, you know what the big guy cried about? That ICO score. He said it isn't fair, okay? I've got 200 excavators digging in downtown Detroit or downtown Los Angeles or downtown Sacramento. I am going to hit utilities just by the numbers of it. I've got too many machines and too many guys, and he's going to hit more. There's guys in this room, you're going to hit more than I am. I'm an owner-operator. I'm running my own excavator. I'm not hitting anything. I'm not digging without calling misdig. I'm careful. I know what I'm doing. There's guys in this room that have employees that maybe just started last week. What if they hit something and it becomes a burden for them, and the big guys are crying that it lets me have an unfair advantage over them because they're hitting so much stuff that their ICO score is coming down, okay? And the guys, is Steve, I hate to throw Steve under the bus here, but is Steve Munkers going to give a hoot about my ICO score? No, he just cares about my price to dig a basement, okay? Is a government entity going to care about your ICO score? Yes. Is a municipality? Yes. You guys are going to use that to rate these guys. Now, everything I just said, this is a long-going argument. They have phased out that ICO score, and at least they've gotten rid of that name. They call it something else because it looked so bad, and that was the biggest pushback from all of these excavators, the big, huge guys. They said it isn't fair, okay? So they've taken, don't let them lie to you and tell you that doesn't exist. They changed the name on that, all right? But if you go on their website, the whole idea for this that they preach over and over is a metric to put us all on the same playing field. They want a metric so that we can compare apples to apples. Who's a good excavator? Who's a bad excavator? That's what they want, and that's what the big guys are crying that isn't fair. My last, I've talked way over my 3 minutes, but some of these guys aren't going to talk, so I got their time. They don't want to come up here so I can talk, you know.
You're doing a good job.
I'm not saying it's not a good idea for some things. I personally don't want to go dig on that 42-inch underground natural gas line coming across the state. You aren't going to see me out doing it, and there's other guys in this room, they don't want to do it, you know. But there's guys, a couple of them did show up, but there are big guys that do that work, you know, and maybe it does apply to them. You're digging on a huge gas line coming across the township, you know, you probably need to be up to snuff. I'm okay with like somebody like Consumers Energy saying you can't touch our stuff unless you're certified. I think everyone there, I don't need to say that, they do agree with me. We don't need that to cut a 4-inch PVC pipe off with a battery-powered sawzall and tap it for a sewer. Come on. We don't need that in Fenton Township. I can't afford it. We don't need this garbage coming out of California and coming into Fenton Township. And these guys are hoping, depending on you guys, to convey this to the most difficult county I do work in, and I think everybody here will say that, Genesee County. They sue your residents to death over little stuff. I can give you name after name after name that guys are suing right now, homeowners, over stupid stuff, silt fence and dirt going into a wetland, and we dug it out instantly, and the homeowner's still getting sued. And that's Genesee County. You guys, nobody know, I don't think I complained about this yet, but you guys probably don't know, Genesee County now, the soil erosion permits, they're only good for 6 months now, okay? It used to be 12 months, it's 6 months now, okay? It's to generate revenue. You're breaking our back. We try to pass this on, but unfortunately it doesn't all get passed on, and it's coming on the little guys. So now every 6 months we have to pay the permit fees. You know, not 12. Hey, and again, I'm okay with that if they tell you guys, because they're not going to tell me, I'm okay with that if they say, you guys, we can't pay our own salaries, okay? We got to have a pickup truck, we got to have gas in it, we got to have maintenance, we got to pay for these lights. I'm okay if they show you guys their numbers and you look at them and they're in a deficit. You know, we don't want that. Nobody here does. Fine. If you guys need more money and we got to do it every 6 months, do it every 6 months and we'll pay it, you know? But don't take advantage of us. That's the first county that said that so far, every 6 months. But it's 12 months if you're a homeowner. So now I got to go to tell all my homeowners I don't pull permits anymore. You have to do it because I'm not paying it twice, you know? And I'm only saying that going off a tangent on that because I'm displaying to you Genesee County's extremely difficult to work with, and they seem like they want more and more and more and more regulation. This is too far. It's too much, you know? Just think about the number on it. That's the problem.
Brian, you really have, I don't know about anybody else, you really educated me.
I can talk for 40 hours straight on
I
this.
believe it, and I'm glad in a way, I am glad. Some of us, did all of us sit in that
Well, actually,
meeting with Gold
Yeah,
Shovel?
we did, but Christine raised.
They want you guys on board so bad. They want
issues
our
that
money.
he's-
Yeah, but it was nothing like
Said it's a
this.
money grab.
Yeah.
I did do some
did
research
you.
on it as well, because I was
So did
disturbed
you.
when we
I
had
say
the first
everything's money
reading,
grab.
so
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're all here, I appreciate it. I think the other, constituents in the township, I wish they would come and voice their opinions more, because it seems like time and time again, we'll make a decision, and then for the next month in the hotlines, there's people blasting, why did they do this, what do they know, we need to know what the people of this township want. Please
I'll be
tell
blunt
us.
with you.
So, thank
We're
you for
we're
being
scared
here.
also to voice our opinion for what's going to happen to my taxes. You know, the retribution. What's going to happen? Can I pull a permit again?
Brian.
You know, no, I don't buy that, because I talked on the phone to the guy. You guys, I do, but he demanded to know who I was. This demanded to the point our conversation could go on. I said, Dave, if you want to know so bad, hang up the phone and Google my phone number. You don't write who I am. He knew I was calling from Genesee County. He knew it. I said, it doesn't matter who I am. What are you going to do? I said, you're going to call Genesee County, and you're going to get them all mad at me, okay? So the next time I walk in there for a silt fence permit, they're mad at me, and they're gonna be looking at me tomorrow. You guys are mad at me because I come in here like a tyrant, and me, I'm just trying to watch out for our money, you know?
You know what though, we're not mad at you, you just educated us, you educated us. We sat at a meeting, it was nothing like this.
You know they basically, it's just a company with salesmen, and they just come across America, and they're lobbyists, that's all they are. They're trying to get you guys on board, and you can so easily force us. I mean, do it $2,500 times almost everybody in here. That's 100 G's in this room. Man, let me say it again. The guy's a millionaire now, and he's trying to become a billionaire. Great idea, man. But you're a Democrat in California, and I'm not paying you my money. I'm not doing it, you know? It's a brilliant idea.
He's good. All right, there was a gentleman here.
How did it get here? How did it come up? County coming in?
County.
County.
Pushed it.
Next thing we know,
The
we have a
impression we
meeting.
got was the utilities were pushing it down to the county was pushing it down to us.
And Consumers Energy is on board, and fine, let them be on board. I'm all on board about that. If you guys want to write something that says, you know, you can't dig up the gas line unless you're with this, fine. Consumers is the boss. If we're touching their gas line, so be it, you know. They come out and do the tap for a house anyways, you know. We don't do that. We're not tapping the gas line. Consumers is doing that, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think that if they were to modify this so that it only applied to commercial jobs, would that solve?
No,
your
because
concern?
everybody in here does commercial work except maybe 3 of us, you know.
Okay.
And we're still gonna say the same thing, you know.
They make us bond it, we got a bond here, we got a bond at the county.
If we do something, we're paying.
Every township, so we're in this little cluster where we do work in Oakland County, Livingston County, Genesee County. You know, you do Tyrone, you do Fenton Township. I mean, look at all this money, everything is $250, $300. You multiply that times 50 of all these little townships that we have to do jobs, you're already getting the money, and that's not gonna change.
And some
So
of them
then
we only
they
do
hit that
one.
on top, yeah.
You know, some years we might do 20, some years we might do 1, but like, it's pretty hard to pay that amount of money before we even know what we're gonna get there, you know?
Yeah, you guys remember.
You can't put the $2,400 on a $1,000 basement, you know, it's just not gonna work.
It was 2010, you guys had 4 building permits, right? Because I looked it up. You had
Oh, yeah.
4.
We talked about that.
8, 2007, 8, 9, 10, it was horrible. And we, see, and they say it's a $200 a month membership fee you pay. Oh, it isn't true, because you know me, I said, all right, I'll play that game. I'll sign up for it, I'll pay the $200, I'll do my sewer tap, and then I'll cancel that credit card I paid for it with. No, it isn't every month. You gotta pay that $2,400, boom, right on time. It's all at once. It isn't every month, so they already got me there. I have to pay it up front, you know? So, what am I gonna do, you know, when 2008 hits again, and I get a call for a sewer tap, okay? And it's the only one I'm gonna do that year. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna say no to it.
No,
Or I'm gonna
that's
tell
true.
him, do you wanna pay me $7,500 to do it? And he's gonna say no, and he's gonna struggle to find somebody that can do it, and then they're gonna call an outside, there's outside companies doing work in this township, they have no idea about this. They're gonna walk into your office to get a permit, and you guys are gonna tell them about this, and they're gonna say, what in the world, you know? If you look at the list, there's only 1,413 members in America. Out of all, there's millions of excavators. 1,413 in America. Quote me on that number. That's in America. You're gonna have, I mean, you got 30 people just in this room, you know? Just in your county, you're gonna have 1,000. Just in Michigan, you're gonna have thousands. Trust me, that's what's his name that owns it. That's what he wants. He wants that money coming in every single year. He wants it, you know? Requiring us to do that.
Oh, Brian, do you live in the township?
Yeah.
Do you ever wanna run for office?
I don't know if you guys want me up there.
Elections in November,
Yeah.
there'll be openings.
Man, I mean, and there's all different types of committees too.
Just don't let him fool you guys. When that rep calls you guys again, ask him the hard questions. Let him get an attitude with you, you know? He likes to make you guys.
He doesn't come, he had someone else, I can't even
It
remember.
was, pushed down to us through the county,
Yeah,
so.
county.
And we
They
never heard
start
back
at the
from
top.
them.
They don't start with you. They don't really care about you. They really don't care about us. They tried to fight Miss Dig, and they couldn't, so they're on board with Miss Dig, okay? So Miss Dig is in cahoots with them, and then they went to consumers, okay? And consumers is huge. They're everywhere, you know? And it's advantageous to those big utilities, you know?
Yeah,
If
I can
you
see
look
that.
at that list of 1,400, almost every one, if you research the company, it isn't landscaper cutting grass, plowing snow, digging a basement. It's the guys working on the huge natural gas lines. That's what this was
What it's
for.
supposed to be.
Yes, it was developed by Pacific Gas and Energy, and then the big utility guys picked it up and they said, this is good, the strikes are going down. I agree with them 100%. The strikes are going down, and you can go right on their website, they literally said that wasn't enough. Why stop there? Well, in the way they phrase it, it's for safety. We want America safer. We want America safer. No, you don't. You want our money. That's all there. It's a money grab. That's all it is. It's, you say you're a nonprofit organization, yet we're not writing you the check, and you're incorporated out of Arizona for tax purposes, I'm sure, and you're saying it's a nonprofit. It doesn't line up.
Tom, was there a deadline for this that was put on the agenda? No, okay. We're gonna look into this for sure.
Okay. I can't guarantee all these guys will come back. I
You know what?
appreciate you guys all coming.
Tell me if you wanna come back. If you don't, I mean, you're gonna hear his.
We're on it tonight.
I was gonna say, why don't we just vote on it tonight? It's on the agenda, they came here, they deserve a vote.
And-
I can vote on it.
Because we're using your voice, you guys, we said this, we got a little group chat going, we've been talking about this. We said you guys saying no to it
We really
isn't gonna make it go away out of Michigan, but you guys are you're being our voice, and you're saying to Genesee County, you guys, we said no this time because our citizens came out. You are our voice to Genesee, and Genesee, maybe they need to go back to the drawing board, and maybe they need to propose it to us a little bit better, maybe because we aren't on board with it. Maybe the price needs to come down. Maybe they need to inform us better. Maybe there actually needs to be some advantages to it. Like, why should I join? Because that's what I talked to the guy nicely on the phone about for an hour today. He couldn't give me one good thing it was gonna do for me, other than a sticker on the side of my helmet. The other 7 things on that list, I call Miss Dig and I do them. I don't mess around. If I'm putting a tree in at Bonnie's house, I'm calling Miss Dig. I'm not hitting your gas line. It'll cost me money.
Yeah, it's way too expensive if we break something.
Oh.
We're motivated enough as it is.
We are motivated.
I cannot break these or I go bankrupt.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
We don't need the legal issues, and then Vince was already aware of that. One of the things, you're signing a document to give up some, I don't know everything on it, but I know you're giving up an element of your attorney-client privilege. And that was, for the big guys, that was one of their big arguments, that you were giving up some legal right on that.
All right, you know what? We are gonna vote on it tonight.
Hey, Brian,
This is the
before
second
you
reading.
go, that ticket that's on your vehicle is not in retaliation.
All right, I need a motion to adopt an amendment to the sewer system ordinance number 615 to require all excavating contractors that work on sanitary sewers to become gold shovel standard certified as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mathis,
No.
Kessler's absent. I vote no. Gopel,
No.
Tucker,
No.
Lorraine,
No.
Reed.
No.
You did it.
That's sentiment.
You didn't scare us at all. You were honest and you said what's the truth. And we were not presented with that at all.
If he could give me any better information, I would convey it to you guys. I
Yeah.
wouldn't lie if there was good things I'm hiding, but they didn't give me anything that I could stand here and honestly say to you guys, like, we need this.
Yeah.
I was a truth, when I say I'm okay if consumers adopt it,
Yep.
but I can't tell you guys it's gonna protect your infrastructure anymore than we already are. Nobody in this
It
room.
wouldn't have changed the way I do business one bit.
It certainly is something that a corporate entity should adopt,
I agree.
not townships. I mean,
Yes.
if consumers doesn't want you to dig near their lines without it, that's fine, but I agree, it's not up to the township to require you to spend $2,500,
It's gonna cost you guys
$2,400.
time to enforce it too, and aggravation and
Oh.
arguments,
All right, well, I'm gonna.
Done.
Is there any other board discussion?
Gentlemen in the back.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
just,
trust me, you have friends on the
Did you-
board.
No,
We don't like big
he's all
government,
set.
trust me, we don't like
Just as
government
a-
taking
All
money.
right, I'm going to, go
Just
ahead.
as information for the board, I did look into the same site, and you can run a report of everyone who's a member, and actually Cook Excavating, who the township
He is.
uses, he is certified.
Yeah.
So our biggest, excavating contractor that the township itself uses is.
He
I
just
spent
did-
about a half hour on the
he
site.
did it at that
and what I
meeting.
read,
Yeah.
I
Got with the
I
gentleman.
was gonna vote no anyway.
All right,
so.
you know
Well,
what?
That's the scary part though that I had, you said Cook is set up.
They
That's
are.
the bad part for me, because if Cook is the only one that ends up getting set up, or one of these guys are the only one who does it, and I lose the sewer on a job, I don't just lose the sewer, now he takes the basement, the backfill, all of my income because of that, and that's gonna be the problem.
Wait a minute, don't go after him though,
Right.
because he's.
No, I'm just saying, if
No, he's
any,
saying-
if any were to do that,
That's
if
true.
there's only
Yeah.
one or two, I don't just lose the sewer on that job, that builder now is gonna use him for the rest of it, I'm gonna lose the whole thing.
Right,
But
and you
now
would
maybe
be
he
forced to
has it.
comply with the standards.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly, and we don't want that.
He might not have signed up yet, because they had to take some classes. It was classes.
No, he's on board.
He's on board.
He's on the list.
Okay,
She's
all right.
right.
All right, so, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank
I
you for
won't see
coming.
you again. I knew there was
Good job.
something, when you all
Brian.
came in, I thought, oh no, what is this?
He speaks good and he reps us all in.
So we don't have to call 811 anymore, right?
All right, have a good evening. Bye-bye now.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys, for listening to me.
Brian, thank you.
Thanks for being our voice.
Look at that, Brian, hung in.
Take care, guys.
What's that road you live on?
No, I rode with him.
It's a brand new house, man, right over on Lake Geneva.
Oh.
He's doing good.
All right, the next one is the proposed assault and battery ordinances. This is the second reading of this new ordinance specifying the address, to address assault and battery offenses, rather than include them in the existing disorderly persons ordinance. Any more discussion?
Yeah, question, John, you had some concerns last time.
Yeah, Jack.
Do you still have them?
No, Jack
We
submitted,
agree.
the version that you have tonight is different than what we had last time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Correct.
And
Alright.
it deals with the issues that I had, so.
I couldn't remember when I read it.
agree with another attorney, but I agree.
Uh-oh, that's fine, so we
And
can
I read
still
it
count
and-
this
Glad
as
you
second
worked
reading?
it out.
Second
Yeah.
reading, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right, I need a motion to adopt the assault and battery ordinance as presented.
So moved.
Any do I have a second?
Yep.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Gopel,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Mathis.
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes,
and Kester is absent, motion passes.
Okay, new business. PEG grant application for Lyndon, Fenton, Lake Fenton, and Heartland Schools, and Southern Lakes Park and Rec. Operation Manager Tom Broker, would you please talk to the board in regards to this?
Yes, included in the packet is a cover memo and equipment lists from all of the applicants for this round of PEG grants. It's about every other time we get into a little larger dollar amount, so this is a bigger one, just under 200,000 in total. The township share of it, if it's approved, is 83,767.05, or up to that amount. The FACT Consortium has reviewed and approved the applications and recommended approval of funding up to that maximum amount. One thing to remember is, as with the prior grant approvals, they request that we approve an up to amount and allow the orders to allow the orders to be placed. Because typically, once they get things together and ordered, the prices go down, and what they end up invoicing us is less. So that they just wait till they get the actual invoices to request the reimbursement. Also want to remind the board that these are restricted funds, can only be used for capital equipment purchases to support the public access channel. That's about it, unless you have other questions.
And that's what the PEG is, yes. All right, any more discussion? I gotta make some motions. So I need a motion, I'm making a motion to approve 2020 summer tax collection agreement with Lyndon Community.
No.
We're off on the wrong spot. We'll back up. We're on the PEG.
agree.
We're on the peg.
I'm what?
You went down on the agenda.
Oh, way down.
We're up on PEG grant.
Wait a minute, okay, here I am, okay. All right, I need a motion as far to approve the funding for the PEG grant application to Fenton Area Public Schools, Lake Fenton Community Schools, Lyndon Community Schools, Heartland Consolidated Schools, Southern Lakes Park and Rec, and VAC Consortium, up to the total of $83,767.05.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kessler's absent, I vote yes. Reed,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, we need to schedule a public hearing, 2020 local road improvements. In keeping with the past practices of the Township Board, we would like to schedule a local road improvement public hearing for our January the 20th meeting. This hearing will give the board an opportunity to obtain citizens' input regarding potential local road improvement projects prior to the making of any final decisions. I need a motion to schedule a public hearing for January the 20th, 2020, to obtain citizens' input regarding potential local road improvement projects for 2020, or 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Kessler is absent. Reed,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion passes.
All right, the next one, proposed road improvement project, Whitaker Road, Lyndon Road to Hart Drive. Operation Tom Broker is going to provide us with this. This is something that has come up, and I believe all board members should know about it, because it was already approved, but then the price just totally went out of board. So, Tom, would you like to talk in regards to this and what happened Whitaker Road, cutting the trees and everything down?
Yes. The packet includes a memo with gives a brief history of it, but about a year and a half ago, the board approved a 2019 project to pave a currently unpaved stretch of road, Whitaker Road between Lyndon Road and Hart Drive, right adjacent to the park. This was based on a construction estimate of $150,000 provided by the County Road Commission, and using $90,200 in supplemental allocation funds from the Road Commission, which put the township share around $60,000. By the time the Road Commission completed the engineering design for the project, the cost estimate had increased from $150 to almost $250. When it was bid out in August of this past year, they received only 2 bids, the lowest of which was $343,000. August bids were rejected. The project was bid out again in December. They got 9 bids this time, and they were a little better, but still the low bid was $314,000, still more than double the original estimate. So, Road Commission is advised they do not believe rebidding the project again will result in any more cost reductions, and they have asked the township to decide if they want to move forward with the project or not. I'm suggesting the board maybe not make a final decision tonight, but I wanted to at least discuss it before we had our hearing. Whether or not we can fit it in our budget may not be the real key to whether we should do it or not. Is it, I think the real question is this the best use of this much money? We're looking at $223,000 plus as our share with the allocation funds of still at $90,000 coming from the county.
Do we have traffic count?
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's
say-
true.
I was gonna say 2.
That's
Is that-
just
is that
from
for
Lyndon to-
2019?
That's just from Lyndon to Hart.
Yeah, it's just the shortest little road
It's a
you've
short
ever
stretch.
seen.
I mean, when our cost was $60,000, it was kind of I think a good use of funds. I don't know that it is now. I did talk to the Road Commission today. It was not in my memo because I didn't have this information. I asked them point blank, if we back out of this project, are we on the hook for any money? They said, well, the good news is the engineering and surveying was all done in-house. They would not charge us any of that. They did go in and take out some trees and do some core sampling. So there's almost $20,000 worth of expense that they said, well, in their words, they would split it with us, but it comes out of our 50-50 allocation, their share of it. So it'd be $20,000 out of our budget if we wanna cancel the project. But that may be
Definitely.
well, at some point, they're gonna close the project and bill us, but, We don't need to make a decision tonight, we can see what
What point would that be? Any idea?
what's that?
Seriously, I mean, would that be in a couple of years if they don't hear anything from us, or what?
Well, I would think whatever the guaranteed life of the bid was, which is probably, on the outside, 12 months, probably less than.
But why wouldn't we vote on it, Tom? Why would you said that we don't have to, but why would we not?
Well, I'm saying you don't need to make a decision tonight.
We eat the 20 grand.
We're gonna eat the 20 grand anyway.
Well, I know.
So do we wanna eat it in fiscal
Do we-
2020 or
do we-
2021? And
Well-
to me, I don't even think we gotta have a choice,
Right.
because the bid would expire in 2020, correct?
Right.
So we're gonna pay the $20,000 anyway.
So,
That's why I
if,
asked how one.
if the thought was we may still wanna fit it into our budget and do it, then I would say wait until after the hearing. If you're of the opinion that we should not do the project and cancel it now, then action tonight would be fine.
Right.
Is there an explanation for why the original estimate was so low, or is it just a bad estimate?
Apparently,
So there's no reasonable likelihood that this number's gonna go back down to the estimate territory?
no, they made it clear that they think that's as low as it's going. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
if
got
you read
9
it,
bids in the
that's-
middle of winter.
No, I read it, but I just trying
Yeah.
to figure out why.
9 bids?
Well, usually the estimators don't miss that badly. I mean, excavators can come back and tell you stories where they do, because it does happen, but.
I have to assume that something in the makeup of the original estimate overlooked something
Something else.
significant. I don't know that, but.
Like pavement?
I don't know.
A
You're
road.
right. Instead of gravel.
Was it actually a road?
All right, so no action. Do you want no action, or do you
Well,
wanna
it's
vote
up
on
to
it?
the board.
I'm willing to vote on it.
If you wanna cancel the project now, then we can do that.
But do you wanna vote on it now, Vince, or do you wanna table it and decide it at the next?
Next meeting, we're talking about what the road improvement projects are going to be.
Right, at
Yeah.
the next meeting where we're considering all
I'm
of
fine
them.
with that.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll
All
table
right.
it till
We'll table it to
January 20th.
January the 20th.
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
Yep. I just didn't want it to sit out there
No, I
and
would,
dangle.
no, I would think,
I just say
I
let's
told
put it on the-
them within a month we should have a
Okay.
decision.
All right, now we're gonna go to, proposed summer tax collection agreements for Lyndon, Fenton, Genesee Intermediate School Districts. Fenton Township has received requests again this year to collect a portion of the local school district taxes in the summer property tax bills. Agreements have been prepared to formalize these agreements with Lyndon, Fenton Schools, and GISD. The agreements were are identical to the agreements put in effect in 2019. Tom, the one thing I'm gonna put it into board discussion, the cost. I mean, is this costing the township to do this? Or are we going to get,
Well, they pay us so much per
They pay
parcel.
us.
they do pay us?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the reason for the agreement, is to set the fees. And
So we're clear, Tom and I have had a discussion before this got on the agenda about whether we're adequately recovering our costs. And we bumped this up 3 years ago?
Oh, I do remember
2016
that.
was the last time.
Yeah, roughly 3 years ago, we bumped it up, and if anything, he thinks the numbers now are better than they were then. So, two of us, thought process was simply re-up them for the same numbers, because we're cost recovering. Same question I was asking the chief about Tyrone Township, we're cost recovering effectively, and then look at it again next year, it'll be 4 years, for every 3 to 5 years, we should be taking a hard look at the number. Well, I look at the number every year, I guess I said that poorly, but, every 3 to 5 years, we could probably expect a bump.
Okay.
But it's required to be reviewed every year anyway, so
Right.
Tom could
The
come with a
agreements are-
recommendation.
Agreements
to
are
this
1-year
board.
agreements, so
Yeah,
you're
so
gonna,
it's a
you're
one-year
gonna look at
agreement.
it every year and.
All three of them.
Yeah.
The language
Not for
is-
us to make money, that's just for us to break even.
To break even.
Correct.
Who proposes the collection fee each year?
Well, the way it works in reality is the old number is the starting point for the new number. The last time it was raised, it was on my initiative because it hadn't been raised in a while, and
I just noticed that they vary between the three entities.
Well, it's not an apples to apples. In the case of Fenton, they are only collecting their non-homestead tax, so it's a very limited number of parcels.
Okay.
And because of, Lyndon is collecting 50% of all of their millage. By policy, GISD will collect 50% of their millage in that same district only. So those parcels are the cost of those parcels are being split between Lyndon and GISD. Whereas, because Fenton is only doing the non-homestead, GISD is not piggybacking on that one. So for that relatively few number of parcels, they're paying a higher fee.
They're paying,
Right.
okay. That's very helpful, thank you.
All right, any other board discussion? I need a motion to approve the 2020 summer tax collection agreement with Lyndon Community Schools as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Kester's absent, Gopel.
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes,
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
All right, I need a motion to approve 2020 summer tax collection agreement with Fenton area schools as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
I vote yes. Reed,
yes,
Gopel.
Yes.
Mathis.
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Kessler is absent.
All right, I need a motion to approve the 2020 summer tax collection agreement with Genesee County Intermediate School District as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Lorraine,
Yes.
Mathis,
You did good.
Sometimes it just comes up pretty
You
low.
woke us up.
Mathis,
Yes.
Tucker.
Yes.
I vote yes. Reed,
yes.
Kessler is absent, Gopel.
Yes.
So,
All right, the next item is
I think so.
letter of resignation from Fenton Township Fire Department. The letter is in your packet. The applicant is Brett DeWeese, and I'll let the chief talk in regards to that.
Okay, you guys have the letter. I don't have a copy of the letter. I left it up on my desk.
We've got it.
We got it.
What is Brett got busy at work. He thought he was gonna be able to make his calls and wasn't able to. With the new SOPs that are in force, it would
It's just too much.
it just work against him,
Yeah.
so. He chose to stay on the good side and leave on good terms. And, he's just looking for you guys to, approve his letter.
All right. A motion is to accept the resignation of Brett DeWeese from the Fenton Township Fire Department.
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
I vote yes. Reed,
Yes,
Kessler is absent, Lorraine,
Yes.
Tucker,
Yes.
Mathis,
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Resignation is accepted.
Okay, board comments. Are there any comments from the members of the board?
Quick question, Madam Supervisor. Back when we had, you were, I believe, off ill, but we had the agreement with Deer Park, and we said we'd sit down with them. I volunteered to sit down with them. That meeting is Wednesday. I just need direction. I'm under the impression that the board wants to be out of the leaser business at the end of April 2020.
June.
Or June, okay. I just need direction so I don't. Because there have already been comments made about attorneys being there and us being sued. Mr. Gopel and I talked about it earlier, so I wanna make sure, unless Mr. Tucker'd like to go there and be that.
Where is it gonna be?
Right here at 6:30 on Wednesday.
6:30? All right.
We're just both, I just volunteered to try to get the groups together. As of right now, Ms. Lockwood is going to represent Southern Lakes. And there's several people coming from different organizations.
Is Southern Lights still on board with it? I know Vince is no longer there. Did that change anything, or is the board still?
No, that's why the only person from, well, yeah, I'm speaking. Christine,
well.
no, Christine's on,
The Southern Lakes Board passed the recommendation, the task of investigating and making a recommendation to the full board onto an operations committee. Pat Lockwood heads up that operations committee. So we've agreed as a board that it is still in the committee phase as far as Southern Lakes is concerned. So Pat is gonna be there, as a member of the operations committee. And then once she's gathered enough information, then a recommendation would come up to the full board as to whether or not Southern Lakes wants to take on that
All right,
lease.
so you haven't made a final decision on that?
Have not. Oh, they haven't, okay. All right.
I read the information in the packet. What is their exposure, Jack? I mean, I don't understand. I have no clue from looking at the lease, what our legal exposure would be by non-renew, right? Non-renew.
None.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
But I did,
Not even-
the only
now you're
reason I
talking
brought
about
it up.
That's all I wanted to know.
Lawyer I know that will tell you they have no exposure.
Well, I mean, you can file a suit, but
Well, you can always get sued.
you can get sued.
But, I mean, you have no obligation to renew a lease. In fact, you should be in that position anyways.
As a landlord.
Cause we changed our mind and extended it through June, so I just,
To be nice.
I
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't change
understand.
our mind, we were just trying to accommodate the
But
circumstances.
Amy Converse is already talking about suing and stuff. I just, being upfront with all the good emails I've been getting.
So did you get the answer that you needed?
Yep,
Okay.
unless somebody else wants to be there.
Get 'em, Bob.
Yeah, no, thank you.
See, you don't miss a meeting. Christine.
It's true,
All right.
lesson learned.
So, but anybody could come if they wanted to.
Oh, it's a
It's
public
open
meeting.
That's
public
public
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Rob's in Florida, should we? send
All
him?
right, I
Yeah.
He'd be back on Wednesday.
He's back on Wednesday.
Oh, surprise.
Rob. I will open it up to public comment on agenda and non-agenda items. Sir, did you want to speak on something? Right, you're all set? Okay. All right, I will say good evening, the meeting's adjourned.